Assalamu alaikum. My name is Iman Hasab Ali. I'm a grad student here at AIC. I'm in my second year, and I'm honored to be your MC for tonight. I just wanted to acknowledge that His Excellency Secretary General Iyad Medani is in the room, President and Father and Dr. Dennis Holtschneider, Consul General of Pakistan, Honorable Faisal Tirmizi is here, President Father Dr. Mark Francis, members of the Board of Trustees, President Dr. Ali Yurtsever, faculty, students, and guests, welcome to AIC. To begin the evening, I want to invite Ayman Suleiman, who's a grad student and a classmate, and Masoud Mamalulu to recite Quran, he's also a BA student at AIC, to recite Quran. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل الحمد لله وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى الله خير أما يشركون أمن خلق السماوات والأرض وأنزل لكم من السماء ماء فأنبتنا به حدائق ذات بهجة ما كان لكم أن تنبتوا شجرها أإله مع الله بل هم قوم يعدلون أمن جعل الأرض قرارا وجعل خلالها أنهارا وجعل لها رواسي وجعل بين البحرين حاجزا أإله مع الله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون أمن يهديكم في ظلمات البر والبحر ومن يرسل الرياح بشرا بين يدي رحمته أإله مع الله تعالى الله عما يشركون أمن يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده ومن يرزقكم من السماء والأرض أإله مع الله قل هاتوا برهانكم إن كنتم صادقين
قل لا يعلم من في السماوات والأرض الغيب إلا الله وما يشعرون أيان يبعثون بل ادارك علمهم في الآخرة بل هم في شك منها بل هم منها عمون وقال الذين كفروا أئذا كنا ترابا وآباؤنا أئنا لمخرجون لقد وعدنا هذا نحن وآباؤنا من قبل إن هذا إلا أساطير الأولين قل سيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المجرمين ولا تحزن عليهم ولا تكن في ضيق مما يمكرون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين قل عسى أن يكون ردف لكم بعض الذي تستعجلون وإن ربك لذو فضل على الناس ولكن أكثرهم لا يشكرون وإن ربك ليعلم ما تكن صدورهم وما يعلنون صدق الله العظيم.
Before we begin, I'd like to just also acknowledge that the South African Consul General, the Honorable Vuyiswa Tulelu, has also joined us tonight for the evening. Next up, we're going to have the brand new documentary of everybody just turn their attention to the screen, the brand new documentary for AIC.
We like the fact that American Islamic College as a space is a sort of catalyst for many questions.
Why do people act like that? How is this different from what I hear in the media? What are people doing? Are they all the same or different? Is it homogeneous? Is it heterogeneous? And that's beautiful because it brings an awareness.
It's at the interface of Islamic values of knowledge and contemporary knowledge and methodologies themselves.
American Islamic College was founded in 1981 with the intention of educating the students and the community about Islam, Muslims, and building bridges between the Islamic countries, Muslims and non-Muslims.
It's more than just something personal. It's something that, has a lot of social benefit. You always think it's just a religion. Little do we know that it's a civilization.
Here, you'll get a fuller range of Islamic studies courses because that is the sole focus of our program here. That we bring a diverse array of specialties within Islamic studies to the table.
We're really seeking to pursue all of these branches of knowledge and all of these branches of learning in a way that awakens the conversation that they're having with one another.
I'm from Turkey and I can bring my own story. So by sharing stories in the classroom environment, we are learning a lot from each other.
As a civil rights activist and as a frequent media commentator, I'm often met with the problem of who speaks for Muslims in Islam.
We'll be really exploring all these issues, Islamic thought related to gender, related to race, related to conflict, related to war.
They don't give you one particular angle or perspective concerning Islam. Islam is so vast and it's so diverse, and it encompasses so many aspects that they don't just give you one narrative.
We definitely need at this point academic programs such as the Masters of Divinity offered here at AIC.
Divinity is the right word because that's the word that signals this kind of holistic, formation-oriented education.
These are courses that are very hands-on. Our instructors feel very strongly about the one-on-one attention that we give to our students.
Oh, it is great. It's definitely like a family. People are close. Right off the bat, you feel like you're welcomed.
At American Islamic College, we are very open to the community. Our facilities are frequently used by outside organizations.
We love Chicago. Chicago is also a very diverse city, and we are receiving many people from different communities here, regardless of their faith, color, background, race.
It's a beautiful small campus within the big city. It's nice by the lake. It really has a very beautiful old-style building.
And the education institution must be continuous, and also not only the students but also the community must be educated.
I learn every semester something new from my students.
It's a liberal arts college with a grounding in American Islam.
I absolutely would recommend this program to friends and family and to other students as well.
That was great. I'd like to invite Mr. Talat Othman to the stage to address the audience, but before I do, I'd like to introduce him. Mr. Talat Othman serves as the president of Grove Financial Incorporated. He's the founding president of the Arab American Business and Professional Association since 1991. In 1973, he founded the Midwest chapter of the Forex Association of North America. Mr. Othman serves as a senior advisor of McKinley Reserve. From 1978 to 1983, he served as the general manager and chief executive officer of the Saudi Arab Finance Corporation and the general manager of the Saudi Investment Group. From 1956 to 1977, he was associated with the Harris Trust and Savings Bank, that's my bank, as vice president and division administrator of the International Money Management Division, including the International Economic Research Unit. He is the director of the Middle East Policy, including the Middle East Policy Council in Washington, D.C., a member of the Board of Governors of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and a trustee for the Center of Excellence in Education in Washington, D.C. He is a member of the Advisory Board of the Catholic Theological Union and the Hashemite Association for International Cooperation. Mr. Othman served on the Dean's Council of the Kennedy School of Governance at Harvard University and on the Board of Directors of the Khalil Gibran Centennial Foundation, the Board of Trustees for the Center of Excellence in Education, the advisory board of the Greater Middle East Studies Center at RAND. In 1977, he was honored by Mr. Jim Edgar, declaring November 1st, 1997, as Talat M. Othman Day in Illinois. In May 1995, he was the recipient of an honorary doctorate in humane letters from the Catholic Theological Union. He has frequently written and spoken on the international monetary system, international money market, and international economic issues. Welcome to the stage.
Saying thank you very much. I was not expecting such a generous introduction. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Secretary General Madani, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Reverend Holschneider, Honorable Consul Generals, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am privileged and honored to be asked on behalf of the board to say a few words of welcome to you all for joining us at this auspicious occasion of recognizing the current and incoming students, as well as the newly inducted faculty and the launch of the 2015-16 academic year. Under the direction of the Board of Trustees, governance by the local Board of Steering Committee, and the able leadership of President Ali Yurtsever, the American Islamic College had made several advances in the past few years. Those of you who have not been here for a few years, I think you will readily see the changes and the improvements that have taken place. You saw some of that in the video. The premises and atmosphere are important, but more important is the curriculum, the faculty, the student body, the special attention given to each student, and the mentoring that is provided. We currently have about 50 students, 12 faculty and staff, and have received all operating degrees granting authority for all three programs: Bachelor's, Master's in Islamic Studies, and Master of Divinity in Islamic Studies. And the first Islamic college, an MA in Islamic chaplaincy. We are involved in community interfaith programs, and we cooperate with national and international universities and think tanks. The American Islamic College, as all religious institutions, blend faith and learning through rigorous study that promotes critical thinking and reasoning for students to become more conscious of oneself, community, society, and the world beyond. To respect all God's creations and to work for the common good. The Islamic College is the new kid on the block. We are delighted that Dr. Holschneider will be addressing us later. DePaul University is over 100 years old, so we are a few years late. But when we look at the oldest university, which is El Qarawiyyin in Morocco, which was started in 859 by a woman, Fatma al-Fihri. I would say we're centuries late. How many of you knew that? The first university, 859, or some knew. The university had an amazing list of alumni, including Averroes, or Ibn Rushd, if you will, the Moorish Muslim philosopher born in Cordoba. He was a towering figure in the history of Arab and Islamic thought, as well as that of European and Western philosophy and theology. And Abu Abdullah Muhammad al-Idrisi al-Qurtubi al-Hasan al-Sabti, or simply al-Idrisi. But I thought you'd like to know the full name. He was born in Morocco. He was a geographer in the court of King Roger II in Sicily. He drew a map for Roger in 1154, which is considered one of the most advanced ancient world maps. The university's prestigious academic reputation transcended religion, the religious divisions. Other alumni were the Jewish philosopher, Maimonides, born in Cordoba, Moshe ben Maimon, one of the most prolific and influential Torah scholars and physicians of the Middle Ages. The historian Ibn Khaldun, born in Tunis, is considered the most important figure in history and sociology in Muslim history. And the Pope, Pope Sylvester II, before becoming Pope, Gerbert of Auvergne, France, studied there, and he introduced the use of the zero and Arabic to Europe, and the Arabic numerals, that is. Amazing what you can find on the internet. I can go on and on, but I just wanted to give you a flavor of what was accomplished 1,000 years ago and crossing religious lines and ethnicities. That is what AIC will, inshallah, do, be inclusive. That is what religious colleges and universities do, promote respect, tolerance, and acceptance of the other. In Islam, that is commanded to us by the Holy Quran. A short verse, chapter 49, verse 13 states, O people, We have created you from a single male and female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know each other. Those most honored in the sight of God are the most righteous, and God has full knowledge. So, the challenge to my fellow Board of Trustees, to President Ali, and to the Muslim community is to emulate what Fatima and Fihri accomplished over 1,000 years ago. Thank you.
Before I invite our next speaker, I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the AIC faculty. If I could have Professor Jawad Qureshi, Dr. Omar Awas, and Dr. Shaban Amir, and all the other instructors to please stand and give them a round of applause. Especially since I'm their student. I wanted to just introduce Professor Amir before she comes up here. I'm actually in her Islam and gender class this semester, and it is a tough class. Dr. Shaban Amir is the author of the award-winning book, The Muslim American Women on Campus, Undergraduate Social Life and Identity, published by the University of North Carolina Press in 2014. The book received the Outstanding Book Award from the National Association for Ethnic Studies and the Critics' Choice Award from the American Educational Studies Association. Dr. Amir earned her PhD in Education Policy Studies and Anthropology with a concentration in Comparative Education from Indiana University in Bloomington. She received the Outstanding Dissertation Award for her doctoral dissertation from the American Anthropological Association's Council on Anthropology and Education in 2006. She conducted ethnographic fieldwork in the Washington, D.C. area as visiting researcher at the Center for Muslim Christian Understanding at Georgetown University. She also has an MA in English Literature from Punjab University, Pakistan, and a Master's in Philosophy and Education from Cambridge University in the UK. In addition to her book, she has written academic chapters, journal articles, and children's literature. She's an international public speaker on gender, religion, education, and politics. She speaks English, Urdu, and Punjabi, and some Arabic and Farsi. She's delighted, and we are delighted, to have her as a part of the American Islamic College community as its general education coordinator and assistant professor of anthropology. Please come to the stage.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you, Iman, for that very embarrassing introduction. And I also want to say that Iman is one of my very best students at AIC, but she is no exception. I've been really pleasantly surprised by how wonderful our conversations have been in the classroom. Thank you, everybody, for welcoming me. I'm delighted to be a member of the American Islamic College. I'm also really happy that I work at an institution that values scholarly work and research. When I first came for my job interview, not too long ago, I was stunned by the beauty of the campus, of course, that I'm sure all of you have noticed. And every day, sorry, I am short, I know, I'm gonna need to, okay, thank you. And every day I am struck by my good fortune to work at this historic, gorgeous building in this vibrant city. I want to also speak briefly about my colleagues in the faculty, Omar Awas, Jawad Qureshi, and our excellent adjunct faculty who are brilliant scholars, reflective, caring teachers, and really great colleagues to work with. I'm very, very honored to work with everybody here at AIC. My students, many of whose smiling faces I'm seeing right now, are engaged and thoughtful learners, knowledge seekers, who are every bit as academically competitive, and in most cases more so, than the students I have taught before at Indiana, Eastern Illinois, Oklahoma State, and other places. So thank you, everybody, for sharing in our community, and please continue to offer your support to us at American Islamic College, as in this beautiful evening, so in our faculty's scholarly work, in the multicultural promise that we offer here, in our students' performance, in those aha moments, or those, oh my God, this is so tough moments that we have here at AIC. We will continue, I am sure, to surprise and to delight you. Thank you very much.
Next, I want to invite some of my classmates to the stage. First, we're going to have Selma Aulu, who is a BA student, class of 2018, for some student reflections.
Salam and warm greetings of peace to you all. My name is Selma, and I am currently a sophomore at American Islamic College. My first week in Chicago was interesting, living in New York for the past 15 years and having never been away from my family. I found myself challenged by being in a new place on my own. However, the faculty and staff had helped me adjust to the environment fairly quickly. The first couple of days being in Chicago, I was able to go to the faculty and staff with any problems I had. They were very friendly and made me feel much more comfortable. Reflecting my freshman year, I realized that even though the classes were vigorous and the amount of information that I learned was a lot, I believe that my classmates and I have grown exponentially. For example, in our Arabic 101, Professor Sausan Abadi started off the year by teaching us the Arabic alphabet, and by the end of the year, we found ourselves writing essays in Arabic. When I went back home to New York, I shared this information with my Arab friends. They were shocked and impressed by the amount of Arabic we had acquired in such a short time. In Dr. Gianotti's class, Religions of the World, we had learned the different religions that we are surrounded by. By learning this information, this enabled us as Muslims to think with a broader perspective. By gaining this perspective, we developed respect and admiration for other religions. Through Muslim American literature with Dr. Anger, we learned the different experiences of Muslims in the modern world. This allowed us to learn that there are several different cultures in the Islamic world. The president of the school, Dr. Ali, is very welcoming, and his office is always open and genuinely cares about all the students at the school. Under his leadership, the college has grown every year, and I believe will keep on growing. Currently, as an intern, I am developing new skills such as leadership, communication, and responsibility. A special thank you to the staff at the school, Alzin, Romana, Balsam, Akiko, and Bekra, for making this opportunity possible. Now, as a sophomore, our college has a new professor, Dr. Mir. She is my advisor, and I would like to thank her for her energy. She is constantly supporting by making sure our class load is manageable. This upcoming year, I am eager to reflect not only the improvements and changes our college has made, but the knowledge and new perspectives that I will gain through this year. Thank you, and I hope you all have a great evening.
Next, I want to invite Farhan Fasihuddin, who is my classmate and always brings it to class.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Farhan, and I'm currently a second-year graduate student here at AIC. My journey to the college was fortuitous. I was very fortunate to find it. As I graduated with a BA in history from University of Colorado, I knew I wanted to continue my studies and that I wanted to focus on Islam. At that time, my main goal was to study overseas. And I looked into schools in both Syria and Egypt, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances, I was never able to go. As time had passed since my graduation from Colorado, my interest in Islam never wavered. In 2011, in a trip to India, I was able to explore the influence of Islamic culture. I was able to visit the Taj Mahal, and it was truly one of the most remarkable experiences of my life. I applied to AIC in the spring of 2014, and I was elated that I was accepted. Reflecting back on my first year of graduate school, my first couple of weeks were tumultuous. Not only I was trying to acclimate to a different city, as I had never lived outside the confines of Denver before, but I was trying to get back into the routine of school. When I first began attending AIC, I was constantly looking for signs if I had made the right decision. Looking back, I can actually pinpoint the moment where I realized that AIC was the best place for me. And it was in Dr. Gianotti's philosophy and theology class. As many students know, Dr. G is one of the most captivating speakers, and for this lecture, this was especially the case. On this particular day, he was discussing man's free will versus God's determinism. And I remember being completely fascinated by our discussion and hanging on to every single word of his. And as soon as class was dismissed, I knew that AIC was the right place for me, and I've never second-guessed my decision since. Not only is AIC providing me with a great education in Islamic studies, but here I have the luxury of learning from several great professors who want to see me succeed just as much as I do. As many of you can sympathize, learning Arabic can be a very daunting task. However, it is here at AIC that I'm fortunate to have a great professor, Professor Abadi, who works tirelessly on ensuring that we are constantly developing our Arabic skills. Her out-of-the-box technique and constant demand for improvement had us writing essays in Arabic by the end of our first year. In Professor Awas's class, Advanced Quranic Studies, I was in awe of the beauty and the complexities of the Quran. In his class, I was able to learn the intricacies of the Quran, for instance, the difference in not only theme, but organization of Meccan surahs versus Medinan surahs. In Professor Qureshi's major debates and theology class, we had the privilege of reading from one of the best scholars in Islam, Ghazali. One of the topics that really struck out to me in this class was Ghazali's description of the Day of Judgment. His explanation of the day was so nuanced and so detailed. As for this year, I've had the pleasure to have classes with Dr. Mir, and I'm more than confident that the school is capable. I am more than confident that the school is in capable hands. For me, when I leave ASC, I want to pursue a career in foreign service. I'm confident in that the skills that I have and will have acquired at ASC will make me successful. Skills such as translating from Arabic text into English, analyzing information, while being able to effectively communicate in two languages in both their written and oral forms. These skills that I gained through ASC, I know that I'll be successful in my career. Thank you so much.
Next, we'll invite to the stage Father Dennis Holzschneider, but before that, I will read your bio. Just to introduce him to everybody, he's the president of DePaul University, the nation's largest Catholic university and the largest private university in the Midwest, and chairman of Ascension, the nation's largest Catholic and nonprofit health system. He also serves on the board of the American Council on Education, the Chicago History Museum, and the steering committee of the Illinois Business Immigration Coalition. A Detroit native, he studied at Harvard University and received his doctorate in administration, planning, and social policy in 1997 after writing a dissertation on the early history of financial aid in the United States. He earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics from Niagara University in 1985, studied for the priesthood at Mary Immaculate Seminary in Northampton, Pennsylvania, and was ordained in 1989. Father Holzschneider led 2 national studies examining the trends in governance and leadership in American Catholic colleges and universities. He is the author of 1 book and numerous articles on U.S. higher education and Catholic higher education, as well as a frequent consultant and speaker on these topics. He is a professor of education at DePaul and a faculty member in the Harvard Graduate School of Education's Management Development Program. He is also a faculty member at Boston College's Institute for Administrators in Catholic Higher Education. Father Holzschneider has been honored widely for his work on a variety of issues, including being listed as one of Diversity MBA's magazine's top 100 under 50 diverse executive leaders in 2012. He received the ACE Council of Fellows Mentor Award in 2015, recognizing his guidance in preparing the next generation of academic leaders in higher education. He also holds honorary doctoral degrees from Addison University in Manila, College of St. Elizabeth in New Jersey, Marywood University in Pennsylvania, Niagara University in New York, St. Thomas Aquinas College in New York, and received the Vincentian Charism Award from All Hallows College in Dublin. Welcome to the stage.
Well, good evening. So, Your Excellency, Yad Amin Madani, the Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Dr. Ali Yusufer, the President of AIC, ambassadors, consul generals, presidents of universities, professors of American Islamic College, students, families, and community leaders of Chicago. Assalamu alaikum. It's a singular honor to be invited to speak in your company this evening. It has been DePaul University's great honor to work in the Middle East, sending our faculty and offering degrees in Bahrain, in Qatar, in Jordan. It's been my personal honor to work closely with 2 universities in Lebanon in recent years, LIU and Notre Dame, to help them achieve U.S. accreditation. And above all, it's been my fortune to meet and to grow to respect Dr. Yusufer. I have great respect for our neighbor, the American Islamic College. Its present contributions and its future promise are blessings to be appreciated and to be nurtured. And I'm proud to consider myself a friend of this institution. Now, I've been asked tonight to reflect on the challenges facing United States higher education, and I'm happy to do so, but I begin knowing the comfort that there are also blessings in higher education as well. There are nearly 5,000 institutions of higher learning in the United States. They range from institutions that measure their students in the tens of thousands, such as mine, to boutique institutions of barely 100 students. About 1/3 of these institutions are state institutions, where state governments fund the operational expenses of the institutions, and the tuitions are thereby held artificially low. 2/3 are private or for-profit institutions, which operate independently but benefit to varying degrees from the financial assistance the government gives students from poverty so that they can attend the college of their choice. And altogether, about 21.5 million students are enrolled in these institutions, with about 72% of them studying in the publicly funded institutions. It is a splendid assemblage of institutions doing magnificent work. But make no mistake, it is an assemblage of institutions. It is not an organized or a centrally controlled system. Now, this panoply has enormous benefits for competition, for innovation, but not always. It also permits us to settle comfortably into a pattern of providing an education while the world changes around us in ways that we may not be fully addressing. And that is certainly the case at present. Collectively, in the United States, our institutions do not provide enough graduates in total or by specialization to meet the present need. Jamie Marasotis of the Lumina Foundation observes there are 4.8 million job openings in the United States and 10 million citizens out of work. Many of these citizens are simply unprepared and unqualified for the jobs that are open. The nation needs more college graduates prepared in a different set of fields. We are also organized for a world that is slipping away. We are not, by and large, as international in our curriculum as the world now requires and as our students need. Adults no longer pick one employer or even one career path and stay with that employer or that career path for their whole lifetime. They change jobs. They change entire fields of endeavor over time. And so they need additional training at various points throughout their lifetimes. But we still try to front load everything between 18 and 22. Now, students think of multitasking and individualized and interactive learning as the norm. They prefer concrete and active learning. And we often give them serial tasking, doing one task at a time, passive activity, for example, reading, and abstract theoretical learning. We also, in our institutions, try to give students more education than they want, for we actually know that they need it. Without an education, the world would lead them to economic ideas that themselves have proven unworkable, though perhaps intuitively popular. Without a higher education, the world would often recommend social opinions that have no basis in research. The world gives them simplistic ideas that reinforce long-standing political tensions. We need them to know the histories, the political and social organization, the economic philosophies, and the religious worldviews that both create and ease the political tensions. They need facility and computers and social media, of course, but they also need writing and oral communication and logic and well-founded argument. And for those of us who are privileged to work in faith-based institutions, we additionally provide something further of immense value that does not return a financial value. Our alumni often value this later in life, but not always while they are students. And parents used to value this when they paid tuition for their children, but even that is less true today as American society continues to secularize. Now, there are many more examples of the curriculum that we design and we require in the United States. Forcing students and parents to purchase a broader education that we value, but value more than most of them do, has a name. In business, it's called upselling. It's very hard to sell somebody a bicycle with 3 chain rings, shock absorbers, and a heated seat when all they want is a simple bicycle. But that's exactly what we do in higher education every year. And it's expensive. And so, new models and new providers of higher education are coming into the market. Online providers putting education on the student's schedule and their location, rather than asking students to adjust to our schedule and our location. Competence-based education that replaces courses, degrees, and time spent in class with evaluation techniques to see if students have learned key skills and concepts, regardless of however they came to learn these things. For-profit firms targeting populations of people who did not have easy access before by offering a simpler, a cheaper, and usually a poorer education. And so they begin by recruiting at the lower end of the market, usually academic and underprepared students whom we would never accept at our institution. The less honorable among those online providers shamelessly load those students with loans, knowing that many of them will never graduate. As the technology has improved, however, you're going to see them now going after new markets: single working mothers, working adults, those who have not completed degrees early in their lives but now wish to, graduate programs where the name on the degree actually doesn't matter to the degree holder so much as something like teachers simply needing a credential for an automatic increase in their pay grade. All of this new development is putting pressure on traditional providers of education for us to change, but it's also causing government backlash. Many of us, many traditional universities are putting in online programs. My university is now 12% online. We are putting in non-degree programs, competence-based programs, intent on competing with the new providers, while our market-recognized names still mean something to employers and potential students. Government regulators, however, see that nearly 1/4 of the Pell spending that they give each year goes to these new providers with shockingly poor outcomes. And so, government is now requiring all universities to justify their continued funding streams by reporting degree attainment, employment following education, loan default rates, all good things to watch. Traditional accreditors and state oversight agencies are being pressured to measure the proof of student learning through faculty and through institutional assessment techniques, and also to watch over independently these institutions' financial viability. This increased government oversight is combined with reductions in government spending on education. Here in Illinois, our state government has now fought to a standstill, and it's pushed off the major expenses to future generations so much that the essential services, including education, must be cut simply to pay past expenses. Our MAP funding in Illinois for the poor has not been approved for the present year. Public universities in Illinois have been told to cut their budgets by 30%. Universities flourish in vibrant cities. They struggle in declining cities. DePaul has been blessed to be located in Chicago for 118 years now. But there are fears among all of us operating in Chicago that unpaid city pensions and rising taxes could force this city into bankruptcy and hurt our universities in the way that Detroit's fiscal woes have hurt their universities. The federal government, too, presents a challenge. It spends 80% of the budget on Social Security, health benefit programs, military, and safety net spending. That leaves 20% of the budget for all other spending in the nation, including education. In recent years, they have turned the direct student loan program into a government revenue program. They are now making money off of student loans as much as they yell that they don't like student loans. They cut the Perkin Loans program entirely last week, and they steadily have lowered the purchasing power of the Pell Grants for poor students. Now, the poor, as you can imagine, are harmed more than others. As government pulls back its investment, costs for everybody are increasing. But middle and upper income brackets has still seen increased college participation rates for the past 10 years. The proportion of the bottom quintile of society who enroll in post-secondary education, however, is stagnant. And when they do enroll, they're less likely to enroll in four-year institutions than they were 10 years ago. They're less likely to enroll in the quality of the institution for which they qualify, and they're only half as likely to graduate. The very moment when the lowest economic quintile needs a quality education to get a job turns out cruelly to be the very moment when it's been made hardest for them in several generations to attain one. There are other challenges. Less traditional students who are academically prepared to attend college, forcing all the universities to compete over a smaller pool. A stagnant economy that's preventing most of us from raising any kind of net income, even while our expenses are growing faster than inflation. Higher education, in short, is a tough business. But make no mistake, higher education in this country is an extraordinary enterprise. We enable great scholars to do extraordinary research. We are educating the next generation with new tools and ever-expanding knowledge. Personally, I would go back to college tomorrow if somebody would let me, to be able to study the world with the tools that this generation now has at their fingertips. That would be extraordinary. You asked me tonight to focus on our challenges. And as you've seen, the challenges are not inconsiderable. But they are worth waking up to every day for those of us who are privileged enough to work in higher education. It is a privilege to educate the young. They place themselves in our hands and they say, Teach me what I need to know of the world. That's an extraordinary act of trust. And it's an extraordinary responsibility to accept that act of trust. Teach me what I need to know of the world. And so I end where I began, with my respect for AIC. May your work here be blessed. May these challenges pass by your house. And if they cannot, may they be met with creativity and with generosity. And may all those who pass through your doors discover the joy of scholarship, the love of learning, the freedom of truth, and the opportunity that comes from high achievement. May they find wisdom above all. And through this learning, may they themselves become a blessing to this good earth. Thank you for your kindness, your attention this evening. Peace be upon you all.
Next, we'll be having the chair of the AIC's Board of Trustees, Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, His Excellency Iyad Amin Madani. His Excellency Iyad Madani took office as the 10th Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation on January 1st, 2014. He was born to a well-known family in Mecca al-Mukarramah on the 26th of April in 1946. His father, Amin Abdullah Madani, is a prominent historian of the Arabian Peninsula, and his mother is Nathar Yahya Zakaria. After completing his secondary school education at Taiba School in Al-Madinah al-Munawwara, Iyad Madani moved to Arizona State University in the United States, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in production management. In 1970, he went back to the kingdom and served in various positions at Saudi Arabian Airlines, the last of which was the post of Director General of the Administrative Development Department. From management, he shifted to the media and was appointed the first editor-in-chief of the Saudi Gazette newspaper in Jeddah before he was appointed as Director General of OCA's Organization for Press and Publication. He was selected for the membership of the Shura Council and was appointed as Hajj Minister, and 6 years later as Minister of Culture and Information. During his career, Madani served as a member of the Advisory Board of the Supreme Council of the Gulf Cooperation Council, member of the Board of Trustees of the Gulf University in Bahrain, Vice Chairman of the King Abdulaziz Foundation for Development Housing dedicated to his parents, his member of the Board of Directors of the Bank Saudi Fransi, and member of the Board of Directors of the Department of Water and Sanitation and the Charitable Society for Social Service in Al-Madinah al-Munawwara. He is also a member of other institutions. During his service in the various institutions, Madani displayed an avid interest in culture and thought, as reflected in his numerous contributions to various fora and his many articles published in Arabic and English throughout his career. Some of those articles were collected in his book titled Sinu Zarafa. He received a number of decorations, including in particular the Medal of Honor from China, the Public Service Medal from Malaysia, and the Second Class Order from the Sultanate of Oman. He received an honorary doctorate in international relations from the International Islamic University of Malaysia. And I have to say, when I did a quick Google search, I saw that he was on Twitter, and I was very impressed. Welcome to the stage.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى الرسل أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's indeed a great pleasure to speak to this august gathering of leaders in academia, diplomacy, and of course the family of the AIC. I hope your classes here are not as long as our BOT meetings. We started at, what was it, Dr. Ali, 1 o'clock? And we came directly here. Huh? But it's really indeed wonderful to be able to be associated with this academic institution. Where is Farhan, the guy who said learning Arabic was difficult? Raise your hand where I can see you. Have you tried learning English as a second language? Huh? You know, we Arabs have special problems with this PB sound. We have no P's in Arabic. We only have B's. You're never sure whether to say, may I park here or may I bark here? Or give me a lentil soap or a lentil soup. You know, it's all sound the same. But you go ahead, you try, you learn. You know, I think like we all have been saying, this is a wonderful time. This is a challenging time. But it is also a time difficult to understand, so diversified. And one has to think hard, think through things to see how we can relate and how we can make an impact. They say the last century, the 20th century, was the century of ideology. And now we are in the century of identity. And ideology, I keep repeating this speech, so forgive me those who work for the OIC, has a unifying factor. If you are a Marxist somewhere, you know, you feel a certain affinity to your fellow Marxists. There are no Marxists, I assume, in this room. If you are a conservative, if you are a liberal, you know, these ideologies tend to bring together people under one set of ideas, one vision for the world. Ideology, it seems, it's something that, like building a wall around yourself. You know, we hide inside that wall and don't let anybody inside. Now, our wars, our conflicts are based on how we identify ourselves. We think our culture is private property, that nobody else can be part of that culture. It's a challenge that we have to really face. We also have to understand how this world how this world functions. For some time, everybody relied on the state. The state did everything for you. And then capital came about, and we needed capitalistic institutions to live. And then NGOs, everybody needed NGOs, needed civil society, needed community, grassroots work. And in some places, if anybody here is from Malaysia would remember that Malaysia started something called the GNGO, the non-government organization, by actually giving seed money to local organizations to do grassroots, community-based work. But I think we should add a fourth leg to society. It's not just the state, it's not just the financial institutions, it's not just civil society, it's also religion. I think religion provides us with that sense of security, those sense of togetherness, of certain values, of certain meaning to our lives. And when you think about it, no matter what your religion is, the basic tenets are very similar to the religion of the guy next to you. I remember we were in Mexico City once, and we visited some famous church there. And, you know, Mexicans are Catholics, as we all know. And, you know, there was some special religious occasion, and people were holding candles and walking on their knees up to the altar. You know, it was a long procession outside of the church, and the stony, it wasn't easy to walk on your knees. But we were young, and we decided to see what happens if you walk on your knees and hold a candle. We thought it was a bit of fun. But after a while, you feel that strange feeling of togetherness, of being with others, of sharing an experience. And no matter whether you believe in the symbols that are in front of you, you share that feeling. You almost can touch what brings you together with those walking on their knees with you. We were in Helsinki, and I don't know, Finland is not a terribly religious country, but they have this building under a rock, and it's a place where people go and sit down in quietness and contemplate. And we went in, And there were other people, different clothes, obviously came from different countries. But suddenly that place sort of unified us, put us together, reduced the distance that separated us. I think for Muslims, Hajj is such an experience as well. You know, hundreds of thousands perform the same rituals together, same places, same time. And you feel that you are part of those mass, of those hundreds of thousands of people. But then Hajj is really a very personalized relationship. You feel that Allah, God, sort of devoted all his time, energy, attention just to you personally. So it's that combination of being all by yourself, having your space, your peace of mind, doing whatever dua you have at that moment, as if God has nothing else to do except to listen to you, but at the same time feeling that you are part of that crowd, those thousands of people. I think religion is here to stay. I think religion is a sense of togetherness. I think religion is a set of values that make the sum of which define our humanity. For our students here at the American Islamic College, I think they should live all the three words. It's an American college, they're in America. And America is a wonderful country. They all have to think of the values that America represents. Individualism, freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of movement, equality, the dream of things happening, of things that can happen, that you yourself can make a difference, make an impact. It's also Islamic. And Islam, no matter how much it's misrepresented in those days, is a true religion that taught us all how to be equal, regardless of status. Taught us how justice is for all. It's taught us how to be tolerant to others. And if you read Islamic history throughout the years, throughout the centuries, it is the religion that opened its door to others. And it is college. And if you don't enjoy your college years, they're never going to come back to you again. It's not only fun, but it's also experimentation. It's also the courage to do things differently, to initiate things, to speak up your mind, to give your professors a hard time, to ask the difficult questions, and try and get answers yourself. So I think if you live all the meanings of the American Islamic College, the years you're going to spend here will be most rewarding. We're really honored to have you, Reverend, and all the other leaders of the academia here. And we know that AIC is nowhere near DuPont, but we also dream. I think this college dreams, and rightly so. And to me, the most important dream is for AIC to be a stage, a channel, a source of knowledge about Islam. Not the religion, not the rituals, but Islam, the culture, the art, the architecture, the painting, the music. This is what defines our humanity at the end of the day. And Islam has offered so much in all these areas, in all those fields. It's our dream that AIC not only will produce graduates of higher caliber, but also to be that bridge between different communities, a source of knowledge on things Islamic and also human. I see dinner is being served, so I better say thank you very much for the opportunity. Enjoy your dinner, and we're all glad to see you here, and we hope to see AIC going forward and forward and forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Please forgive me for the mistakes I've made and pray for all of us as students of AIC. I also want to recognize the work that Romana and Ozlan have done, along with everybody else. They put together a fantastic program. It wasn't in this, and you guys wouldn't let me, but I have to say it. And thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
عليك